Oh, grand. Hello, everyone. So I'm back. So anyway, we're continuing on YouTube because my YouTubies, they wanted this. So I might as well knock out two different. Look, I'm gonna do 2 videos in one night. What? Anyway, let's talk about this printing on demand. How much does your book cost? Since that was the question. I thought I had another one of my books here. I feel like I thought I did. Maybe I did. Oh no, here it is, right here. I got it. Okay, so we're talking about printing. Yay, Nigella. Hey guys, so come on back in YouTube. I know YouTube, you guys are like, oh, I know, but I just want to make sure that my content's organized because y'all on YouTube, listen, y'all gonna be mad and say, oh, got video and talking about 3 different things in one video. So we just finished talking about artists. We're just gonna do this quick thing on Createspace, and hopefully this will help somebody. You guys know I'm all about knowledge and helping you guys. Anyway, let's talk about this. So we're talking about print on demand books. You're an author, want to get your books published or printed. Let's talk about this. Oh gosh, I'll block someone. This is annoying. Hide this person because they're annoying. Okay, so we're talking about print on demand books. I have published so far. Let me go to my print on demand. I don't have all my books with me, but I have published. Just look at my bookshelf on Kindle Direct. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 books available on Amazon. Of 7. Oh, well, not 7, 6, because the S word, this one just got redesigned. So it's going to be way more thicker than this. This one will be on Amazon, but it will be on my website for a cheaper price. I'll talk about that. So anyway, 6 books so far published on Amazon. And we're going to talk about printing them though. Okay, so I am a huge Createspace, which is now known as Kindle Direct publisher. And I love Kindle Direct publishing, again, which was once Createspace. And I love them because you cannot beat the price point. And I'm going to talk about another platform or some other platforms that people may think, oh, it's, they're easy to set up. No, they're more expensive. And the price you're paying is crazy. But then there are some pros and cons. So anyway, I love publishing on Createspace. This is not what Lead to Lead looks like now. This is actually the rough draft copy before it got pre-designed and edited and went through a huge process. But anyway, this is Lead to Lead. And let me just share with you price points. I want to actually show you, okay, you're looking at this, like, wow, it only costs that much to print. So this is Lead to Lead, right? And Lead to Lead cost me, I just got to know the price point. Hold on, so let me go on through this. Lead to Lead cost me, this is $3.01. This cost me $3.01 to print. The shipping depends on how many books I'm ordering, but this cost me $3.01 to print. A lot of people ask me what platform you recommend. Createspace, if you're self-publishing. As far as like ISBN, you can get that from, external platform, but I do like Createspace because of the price point. I'm all about margins. I'm a businesswoman. So for me, and also to me, just mention this too, I do this because I have a strong enough tribe for me to do it. If you're someone who needs a publisher because you don't have a tribe, or let's say you need more exposure, that's when a publisher actually is really beneficial. And for me, the reason why I have not gone with the publisher yet is that I'm waiting for a publisher to come to me with a check and say, hey, we're going to pay you this much to write, your first book with us. So for me, that's why building your tribe really helps you versus, you going with someone and, because you don't have a tribe. So the reason why I have done self-publishing is because I have a tribe. I would not recommend publishing any book and you do not have a tribe. I don't think it's actually a good business move. So for me personally, I use Createspace. Why? Well, because for me, I can sell my books and go them through my site or whatever it may be. So anyway, this was $3.01 to print. Okay, $3.01 to print. And to me, again, this was not the finished book. I have a box of them over here. Actually, hold on. This is the finished book. Hold on. Guys, the books. So this was the rough draft copy. Okay, this is the end copy, and there's a huge difference actually. To me, this was the book. I thought that this was going to be the book. But this, my mother, she has an eye, and she was like, yes, I want the book cover. And so this is the book cover. And this is a huge difference. Let me also talk about finishing on Createspace. So this is a matte finish. And one of the reasons why I changed the finishing, because Boss Builder is a matte finish. And when you're on Createspace, or sorry, which is now Kindle Direct, they offer either matte or they offer a gloss print. I highly recommend, it depends upon the cover. Boss Builder is in a matte finish, and this works for me because of one main reason. It has some things going on in it. But if you're doing a solid color, like what I was doing with this ended up being the worst decision. I'm so glad I made a change. I'm so glad, because it was like it was just starting to get like stuff on it, and it was really visible because it was only one color. Yes, Boss Builder would definitely help, but with this one it works because there's a lot of stuff going on. So matte actually is not my actually favorite option. But with this one it just worked. Will I ever do a matte cover again? No. Matter of fact, even the S word, the proof copy is in matte, but this actually will when we expand it, it'll be in gloss. I'm not gonna do it in matte. I do not recommend matte. Don't at all. Do gloss. So let's talk about price point. So yeah, this one cost me $3.01 to print. Okay, Boss Builder, which was my very first book. I love this book. Yes, listen, this is actually, yes. So that is where, that's where it comes into play. So like for, it's an ML Brewington book. She said that she didn't matte, but she's a romance author. So like that works. Like, that works. But this does not work for a business part. Yeah. Like now romance author, yeah, kind of for the matte. It's nice and soft, but yeah. Yeah, not for me. Not for the business side. I think that for romance, that actually adds something. Actually, has like a little bit of an effect. Actually, I like that idea for a romance book. So anyway, let's talk about Boss Builder. Ledley was 301. Boss Builder was, let's see, request all the copies, and Boss Builder's 315. Whoa. So here are some of the myths that need to be dispelled. People think that if a book is bigger, right? So this is a 6x9. This is 6x9. This is an 8. This is a 8.5 by 11, right? So people think that if the book is bigger, that it costs more. Well, yeah, but not by too much, only a few cents. And again, with this book, now here's some things. They are both black and white on the inside. That is what helps you make a cheaper book, right? The outside can be colored, but the inside, if you want to save a lot of money, let's keep it black and white. And I'm going to give you guys some tips on how to make it still look cool in black and white. But anyway, yeah, so this is $3.15. Okay, it's not that much. It's not that much. So you're thinking, oh, it's going to be more expensive. It didn't even go up by a whole dollar. This is 301, this is 315. Okay. And it's larger. And matter of fact, the S word, which is going to be, this one is going to be way more expensive. Not way more, but it's going to be much thicker. It's actually going to end up being as big as Boss Builder. It's going to probably be around the same price point. Then let's talk about some other ones. Let's talk about some other books that I did. Let's talk about Faith in Glass Slippers. Faith in Glass Slippers was only, I believe, like 60, 70 pages. And the price point for that was $2.15. So that one is a 6x9, but it's way less pages. So pages are actually what impact, not size. So that's the one thing that you really got to understand. It's not the size of the book. It's actually the page count. So it's really how many pages are in the book. That's actually what's going to impact your book more. Okay, as far as price point. And remember, color. Let's keep color out of it. Put color on the outside of the book, inside black and white. For my journals that I did, which were the Royal Prayer Journals, those were, and again, I don't have examples of those because I don't have any in stock. Those were $3.49. And let me give you guys some insight on how many pages these were, just so that you can get some insight on that one. Where is the, where can I find out my details about my book? Oh, here, right here. So let's talk about page number, page count. So that Royal Prayer Journal was 220 pages. Okay, 220 pages, and it was 7.5 by 9.2 inches. And that one again was Createspace. Okay, then Boss Builder was or is 192 pages. And so people are like, well, wait, it's only so many pages. Why is it different? And really it comes down to the size that you pick. When a size is a non-traditional size, which my prayer journals were, it is going to be a little bit of a higher price point. Okay, it is, because it's a non-traditional print size. And you may say, well, what does that mean to do with anything? It matters, okay? So for me, it was a non-traditional print size. When I published by 6 by 9 or 8.5 by 11, those are traditional print sizes, you're looking at a cheaper price point. Okay, and so that does matter. And then for Faith in Glass Slippers, again, like I said before, that was a way cheaper book. Caleb, I'm about to answer your question. That was only, it was actually less than that. It was actually 46 pages. So it's 46 pages and it was $2.15. I think it's really inexpensive. But this is what I think about too. Let's say like you're doing like a 30-day devotional or something like that. And it's not gonna be a lot of pages, but you want to print on a really nice, like you want it to be a book. That book only cost me $2.15 to print. If I took those same 46 pages and went to Staples or Office Max, so when people mention things like, oh, go to Staples or, to print your book, don't do that. Don't listen to them. They don't know what they're talking about because they're going to charge you per page. Okay. So the other thing though, too, is that when you do your books through Createspace, you're publishing your book. Okay, that's important. You are publishing. Now, another website people say is Blurb. Blurb is not, I would never use them for book publishing. I had them do my first prayer journal. And that was the worst decision I ever made. But again, I didn't know. So I wasn't knowledgeable. I was not knowledgeable whatsoever. So I really struggled in that. And that one was 292 pages, and they were trying to charge me $15 for that. If I would have done it through Createspace, I would have cut that price point at, I would say, at least by 60, maybe 50-60% minimum, like maximum, well, not me, a minimum, 50-60%. But see, I didn't know. So because everyone's like, oh, yeah, I publish my books through Blurb, they're fast, they're quick. Yeah, they're fast and they're quick, but they're super expensive. So I don't even know why people are using Blurb to print their books, because it's not worth it. So for me, if you're self-publishing books, if you're printing your books yourself, do not use Blurb. Use Createspace, which again is now called Kindle Direct. Do not use Blurb. Blurb is people think, I love people, I really do, but I just want to educate guys. You want to do your research and you want to be a business person. I'm a businesswoman. So I'm looking at margins. And if it's too high, now again, at the first part, I did not know. Hey, Matthew, how are you? I have to DM you. I have to talk to you tomorrow. At first I thought it was awesome. It was inexpensive. Well, that's because you're not shopping around, right? When you don't shop around, you think that everything is, affordable. Well, it's not as affordable as you think. There's actually something that's even more affordable. Yes. A lot of people are missing Createspace, but guys, please get from Kindle is not bad. Okay. Now let me answer Caleb's question, which was, and his question was, let me just go to his, which book is the one that helps you to build your tribe? I need to focus on that for 2019. So when you think about your book, let me make sure YouTube is good because I'm over here talking and YouTube is, okay, there you go. I have questions on YouTube. Okay, YouTube, I'm coming for you guys. I'm going to answer questions. So here we go. If you have any questions, you can ask. Okay. So when it comes to my tribe, my book that has been the one is Boss Builder. Okay. And this is actually, let me kind of share you strategies behind how I do what I do. Okay. When I wrote this, I wrote it because I am both a business coach And then on top of that, I am a Christian speaker, right, and teacher. So on my expertise, I needed a book that solidified my expertise in both arenas. So Boss Builder solidifies my business expertise, and this solidifies my teaching expertise when it comes to Christian faith. So it's funny because these both will become my Tribe Builder books. This one will become the business one, and this is going to become the Christian spiritual one, right? Now, this one, of course, has become this one because this one has been out the longest. This one, though, is the one that will become the strongholder, the strong contender as well, if that makes sense. I believe that every expert or every teacher or speaker needs a book to solidify their expertise. And then, of course, as Caleb, as you already know, we take a book, and then what we're going to do, we're going to create online courses, we're going to create some passive income from that. And we're going to create other things that add towards maximizing or monetizing to maximize our expertise. So a lot of times, as experts, everyone just has a book. Well, you need more than a book, right? When we talk about that, you need a book, you need online courses, you need other offerings to really maximize the earning potential from a book. But this has been the one. It's funny because these two books took me forever to get out. I mean, forever. But they're done. And now that they're done, they're good. And I can sell them forevermore. And so I really love Boss. This is my baby. But this one is the other baby as well. But this is the one. And I'm in love with this one. And yeah, it took me. The way that I wrote this one is that I challenged myself to do 30-day because I honestly could not write a book. I was like, I'm struggling. So what I did was I wrote down 30 questions that came from I had over 1,000 people in this webinar and Boss Builder Tribe. And I took their questions and I did a book from it. And that's actually a great way to do a book is to, especially if you're in nonfiction, is do a huge webinar and get a ton of people and then have them submit questions and then take those questions and turn into a book. This one, I love what Naturally T says. She says, oh, wow, love the second version. Both actually work depending on the demo. And that was actually why. When I did this one, I finally found my favorite color, which is red. I never had a favorite color. All of my colors that I really like were all like several colors. So red is my favorite color. It is my favorite color. And when I decided to redo the cover, I was like, I'm just doing it all red. The reason why I did this one like this is because of the main fact that it is a bold color. When you see it on the shelf, you're going to reach for it just because of the color. Okay. And the other reason why is because it does not speak towards a certain demographic, like as far as a race or anything like that, right? So, like when you look on this one, it's a darker skin tone. And so, I'm not gonna say that people are racist or will create a bias, but, I was like, well, with this one, it kind of is first of all, it's a woman, I'm just saying, but with this one, I just wanted it to be focused on the title. I wanted just to speak to the title. However, I ended up changing it to this one because I did want to show diversity. And I also wanted to show multiple women because the book was about influence and impact. And so when I realized, okay, I want something that when a woman sees it on the shelf, a girly, this book was kind of written for like the girly girl. It doesn't speak to that in the book, but I knew who I was writing. I was writing to a woman who cares about her image. She cares about impacting people, cares about influencing people, wants to impact her community, wants to impact her family. And so I wanted it to be fashionable. I wanted it to be, so this is the reason why we went with this cover instead. I went with the gloss because the matte was getting dirty. It was getting dirty. This was starting to rise. Things starting to happen. And I decided to go with this instead. Okay, let me answer some more questions. I have a live event that I host every year. I want to add journals and planners to sell in the back of the room of the event. Would you suggest printing via this avenue? Yes, I would. I would highly suggest printing just because of the price point. You just can't beat the price point. Only thing is that do not print with Createspace Kindle Direct Publishing last minute. So if you order a box from them, guys, listen, you need to be at like a month out. You need to be a month out. Do not, listen to me, do not, night before you need some books, so I'm going to order. No, it will not work that way. That's why some people like blurred because you could order and you can ship it out the next day, but it's still not. Lulu is great. Lulu, Ingram Spark, those are the other two platforms that I suggest. I have worked with them with clients before. I do like them. I think that each one offers different options, depends upon what you're looking to do. But I do like Lulu, and I do like Ingram Spark. I like Lulu because they offer sizing that Kindle Direct does not offer. Like with Lulu, you can do mini books. You can do books that are much smaller versus Createspace is kind of limited in the sizings that they offer for your books. But I like Lulu because of because of the diversification when it comes to sizing. I think that they're really great in that. By using them or Ingram Spark, you are going to still get that lower price point. Excuse me. Will it be as low as Createspace? Maybe not, but it's not gonna be super expensive, right? Okay, but yeah, I would highly suggest adding journals or planners. I think that's a great idea, Yes, if you want to do a smaller book, less than 5x8, I have a client who does fiction romance novels, and I did the artwork for her book. I did the book cover, and actually for her past 3 books, actually I've done the artwork, but for her most recent one, and it was a smaller book, and I highly suggest going through Lulu. Actually, Createspace actually offers small, and I'm not sure with because now that they're Kindle Direct, I'm not sure what the process is with that, but you can always call and see. Also, if you want to do hardback books, I know Createspace did. I'm not sure if the new one, if Kindle Direct does, but you actually can call them to talk about hardback covers as well. Okay, do you have an idea? The question is, how can you put into a book and a layout that the customers will love and use? Awesome. That's a great question. So for me, it depends upon what kind of book it is that you want. There's the traditional book, right? The traditional book is a book like Automatic Millionaire, right? Where it's laid out, like regular, right? Like a regular layout, right? It's text, some diagrams, but mostly text, right? There's that. You can then also do a visual book. There's a lot more of these coming out nowadays because especially with self-publishing, you can really create whatever layout you want to. You have to think about your audience. You got to think about who your audience is. And you want to definitely get inspiration by looking at other books that may have a similar layout that, maybe across the idea that you want. You want to think about what's the purpose of the book. Like, for instance, when it comes to Boss Builder, it's a book, but I meant it to be a workbook. So the way that it's laid out, there's text, but then I have areas where they're writing, right, where they're, answering questions. And so when I wrote it, I kind of wrote it as if, you're reading through questions and you have work. And you're reading through questions and you have work. So you got to really think about how do you want to lay it out? Then with Led to Lead, I wanted this book to be more visual. So inside the book, right, let me just show you guys. I'm might just start from the beginning. I have, pictures that have quotes on top. Then I have, a black box that has the font inside. And then I have, at the end of every chapter, I have a photo at the end, that I wanted to show. And actually, I did it on purpose because in this book, you're going to see several pictures, and they're all going to be of different women. And they're all of different ages and different races because I wanted the book to speak that way. And so when you think about layout in a book, you're thinking about who the book is for, who it's meant for. How do you want to lay it out? For the S word, this layout is a little bit different. Again, this is not how the anyone looks because we're changing it. But, I really changed how this book was written because I wanted this one to be really fun. And so this book has more of a magazine layout, right? I mean, it's a much bigger book as well, but it's more of a magazine layout where there is still written text. But then, when you get done, there's worksheet sections and things like that. So you've got to really think about, how you want your book to be laid out. And when we think about layout, again, you want to think about your customer. You want to think about what their needs are. You want to think about who you are too. I'm a very visual person. So pretty much even well, besides Boss Builder, no, this one and this one, there's a lot of pictures. I'm really big into, I love pictures. So I put a lot of pictures in my books, kind of like a little thing that is like almost a Genesis Dorsey book. So you can do that. If you want to have it to where like there's text and then there's like a huge box for them to like color and there's like you can create what you desire. That's the great thing about self-publishing and making it. Okay, so if you're saying, okay, so this would be more for the single mother of a special needs child. Oh, that is such a great. Oh, I love things like I love when products have a mission. That really makes my heart sing. So it would be for a single mother. Okay, so a single mother of a special needs child. Oh, so amazing. That needs motivation as well as planning their lives out on a daily basis. So yours is more of a planner. That's really what that is, a planner, right? So, oh, you have 3. Oh my God, that makes my heart sing when you create products for. Oh, that's so great. Okay, so you did say you were going to make a planner. Okay, so she's been paying attention. So a planner is different. A planner is laid out in a much different way. The way a planner is laid out is that you actually want to think about the lifestyle of that customer. So what I do is when I'm working with my planner clients, and again, we're going to have a planner video coming up, so I'll make sure that I reiterate this again because I think people still need to hear it over and over again. But you want to think about the lifestyle, and you want to get some paper. You want to get some pages like this, and you want to just sketch them out. You've got a board. You just want to sketch out what that lifestyle looks like. And then what are the features that mother, if she has a special needs child, you want to think, and of course, if you have 3 special needs children, you can think through your mind, what are the things that you feel like, what are things that you feel like you need to plan on your day? So, if it's like the day-to-day things, is it like doctor's appointments? Is it, if there's medication? If there are things like, tracking things like, their needs, is this like a mommy planner too? Or is it a mommy and kids planner? Or is it a mommy planner? Is it a mommy planner where you're planning out just what the mom needs? Or is it a kiddie planner where it's, okay, I'm planning out my stuff that I need to do and what I need to do for my kids, right? So you want to think about those features. I always say you want to have a maximum of 10 features in a planner or a journal, maximum of 10. Okay, we're not going over 10. A maximum of 10 features in a journal or a planner because you don't want to overwhelm. Remember, this is big. When you're laying out a workbook or a planner, remember that the point of a workbook or a planner is to let them, actually not a planner, not a workbook, but a journal or planner, a journal or planner. The purpose of a journal or planner is to allow them to do the work, okay? To allow them to do the work. Chantel, I'm going to answer your question. I'm so sorry. To allow them to do the work. So don't overwhelm them, right? With all these like, oh, you can plan this, you can plan that, and plan this. Well, a lot of times if it's too planning, it's too much planning, people are not going to plan because it's over. Some people don't make planners and journals. They actually make books because it has so much stuff in it. The person can barely plan. It's like all this stuff. She says, I'm thinking very visual with a lot of film and bubbles. I want to save time while giving the mother to reflect. It's a mommy and mother planner. Okay. So with that, yeah. So that means that when I'm thinking where you're saying it's very visual and you want to do a lot of fill in the bubble or fill in the blank, then think about a layout where it allows them to express themselves. And maybe, you have pages where it's more fill in the blank, and then you have pages maybe it's motivational. Remember that motivation can come very simply in either having custom quotes on pages. It can come simply in having them write out affirmations of encouragement. It can come also too with allowing them to maybe, express themselves in non-traditional ways, such as, coloring or, having them draw or having them, do maybe like writing points where like you give them writing prompts and they, so just think about it and, just don't overwhelm. Do not provide too many features, but provide enough. Remember that your very first product, this is really big, guys. You can't fit all the features you want in a planner journal in one product. You can't. And the way that you can build up hype is by building different products along the way that have different features. But don't try to squish all of your stuff in one product. Because what happens is that there's this perfection problem that a lot of people have when making products, and they are thinking about this one product and they want to make sure it's the best product. Remember, you can have multiple products down the road, and you don't want to become that person where you've created like the best product And then okay, it's like, okay, well, now you can create another product as well, you know? So for me, for instance, I didn't try to put everything into Boss Builder. And people were like, well, Genesis, how come you didn't put everything into Boss Builder? Because I plan on having more books. And I do. I have over 6 books on Amazon. I have one, you know, I have the S Word that's coming out soon. But for me, what I knew was that I was having different products speak to different things. This one speaks to building your tribe. This one's going to speak to, of course, it's going to be much thicker. This one's going to speak to maximizing your sales game. This one speaks to living and leading with joy as a woman of faith. And then, of course, I have Faith in Glass Slippers, which was my very first book. It was 42 pages. But that book is actually really good. That book was written for women who are going through storms and trials. So now when I have a different person, they're coming to me for different needs. Like, Genesis, I'm really going through in life. Which book should I read? Well, if you're going through in life, you need to read Faith in Glass Slippers. Okay, Gigi, you know, I'm a leader. I'm someone who's trying to impact my community. You know, I love God. That's Let It Lead. Okay, Gigi, I'm trying to grow my business. I want to grow a tribe. Boss Builder. Hey, Gigi, I need to get better at making more sales. The S Word. So for me, that's the reason why, you know, you don't have to fit everything into one product. Okay. Chantel Cash asks, for a new coach, do you recommend having a book when you launch your business? You know, it's not required immediately. But I think really it's about proving your knowledge. You don't have to have it done immediately. Okay. A lot of times too, you know, an expert will build up more expertise and then, then they'll, say, okay, it's time for me to write my book. For me, I really believe in having proven success, and then write your book. However, proven success, though, can mean 2 different things, because let's say, for instance, I launch a business, but before I launched this business, I was in corporate helping businesses thrive. Well, you're still an expert. You may not be an expert directly, from you building your business, but if I was in corporate helping build other people's businesses, I do have the expertise and I can write the book. So my only thing is just making sure you've cut out enough time to have it written, to have it done. But you don't have to say, oh, before I launch my business, I need to have a book. That's not a requirement at all. I'm just saying that as especially in a nonfiction world, you want to make sure that you have something. I believe that every great expert that I know has a book. Every nonfiction expert that I know, every one of them, they have a book, at least one, that solidifies their expertise. Okay. And the other reason why it's good to have is because you need to have documented evidence of expertise. Just like in the science world, they publish papers, right? Like, if you are, if you have your doctorate, a lot of times, you have the, how many published works do you have, right? Whether it's getting published in a science, magazine or in a review of some kind, or, there's this feeling of having a published work. If you're a doctor and you've published your research, that's really what we're doing. We're trying to have documented evidence of expertise. But like I said before, don't squish all of your knowledge into one book. I recommend having the one-on-one strategy where you have, like for me, Boss Builder is my one-on-one on tribe building. Okay. And then I built on that, then I did the S Word, which was on, sales, and then I'm working on another one soon. So it's one of those things where I'm not going to squish everything into one plate. I'm going to diversify so that my expertise is now being spread out. It also helps when you travel and you do speaking engagements, because now when I do my speaking engagements, which is so amazing, I actually do workshops that are based on my books now. And that actually helps me to sell my books, because everything I'm teaching is out of my book versus, okay, I'm doing this thing. So now I have a lead speaking topic, and now I have a Boss Builder topic, and now I have a Launch It online course, which is now based on a workshop that I do for people. And so it's a great way to connect a product or a book to a actual a workshop speaking engagement. That's really a great thing to do. And again, like I said before, having books is a great way to expand your sales when you go out here and you sell. However, they don't have to be a book. They can be a workbook. They can be a guide. So don't get stuck on, oh, God, I have to actually write a book and have chapters. No, I mean, the S Word doesn't have chapters. It has keys. They're chapters, but they're not like, these chapters, so it has more of they're like sections, and then Boss Builder. Oh, this book actually had no pages. That's the one mistake I made with this book. It has no page numbers. Never again. But what I did do with this one is I did it to where, again, I wrote down those questions and I act like I was answering the questions. Greetings. Hey, Tammy on YouTube. Can you share on staying with it to completion, finishing what we start? Me? Woo! I went through hell. This book right here cost me way more than it should. So let me share with this one because this was the one that, yeah. So this book was supposed to come out last year on my mother's birthday. It did not come out. I had hundreds of dollars worth of pre-orders. And y'all know those horror stories of pre-orders where like you pre-order something like from somebody and then they never ship it out. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to become that person, you know? And I was so distraught because I had hired some people, some teams to lay out the books for me. I was in this whole like delegation, like, listen, I'm not even going to publish my book. I'm going to hire somebody to do the publishing for me. I'm going to hire someone to do, you know, all this stuff for me. And so I had done that. And when I had gotten towards the end, it was so bad, like non-completed work, not getting responses back. Hey, Felicia, it was just a really, really, really bad experience. And I was actually like in a little bit of a depression because I had all these people like, just, where's the book coming? And that was understandable because these people had paid for that book. And they're like, we don't see like lead. And then, you know, Boss Builder got held up because I had paid the same people. It was just a really bad experience. And so I really was distraught. But there's always a but. Thank God for buts. Literally and figuratively. Because for me, it really taught me on how to stay focused. And not only that, but it was actually a blessing that the book did not come out when it did. Now, of course, moving forward, one of the things I will always say is that I actually was, when I had first done Let the Lead, I was taking a class and the coach who I was following, she had told us to put out a date on when the book would be released. One of the things I've always learned is to, from now on, never put out a date. She had taught us put out a date because you would stick to it. But a lot of times, especially if your product is in other people's hands, you actually can't set a date because you don't really know things are going to come out sometimes. And so what I've learned is that to never put out a date until you have the final copy in your hands. And once you do that, then you can put out a date. And you don't want to put out immediately. You can put it out like 3, 4, 5 months later. And I know that's kind of hard for people to do because like you have a book in your hands, put it out now. But that's been my lesson I've learned. But for me, you've got to, when it came to finishing this one and Boss Builder, there's 2 things I will give you, Tammy. The first thing is that you've got to think about the people. Some people write books because they just want to say that they're authors. And for me, I don't just write books because I want to be an author. I'm not really big on titles like that. Like, For me, it's about actually helping people. And I knew that this book was going into people's hands. And what I did was that I began to think about the person that will be holding this book. And the person, I even think about the people, you know, who hold Boss Builder. I've gotten so many testimonials from people who live all over the world. And because Boss Builder is available on Amazon, people order from all over the world. And so it is an amazing feeling when people are holding my workbook. You know, it's funny because people sometimes they look on social media, look on different things like, you know, but I have a very large tribe. I really do, because I have a large tribe on my email list. I have a lot of people come through YouTube, a lot of people come through Facebook, a lot of people come through Instagram. And so, you know, sometimes you don't see them on lives, but y'all, I got the people. And so, you know, when these people are coming, y'all, you'd be surprised at people who order my books in one night. Like I wake up and it's like someone ordered my book at like 2 a.m. Someone was on my site at like 2:15 a.m. and like 3 o'clock a.m. And, you know, they're like, somebody was on at like 6 a.m. ordering my book. It's like amazing. And so I was thinking about those people when I was writing the book. You know, and you've got to think about the people. When you do things, as the Bible talks about, you know, I don't mean to be super spiritual. I know I have people here who aren't spiritual. But the Bible talks about this on how, you know, we do not do our work unto men, but we do it unto God. But remember that God is about people. Right? He's about people. And so the things that we do unto him is because of what he wants to do for others, right? That's how it works. We do it unto him, right? But he wants to do something for people on the earth. But we have to do it unto him so that people don't, you know, their emotions don't trip us up and make us mad. But that's what I think about people and how like they were going to pick up this book and they were going to read it. And I think about Lady Lee because there are, you know, first ladies, there are women in ministry, there are mothers, there are stay-at-home moms, there are women in the workforce, there are people who have nonprofits, there are people who have, you know, women who want to influence and impact, and they're exhausted. And I wrote this book for women who were Christians and in leadership roles and exhausted, or they were just getting tired, you know, and you can be a leader and everything's great, but you just, you know, you're getting tired, you know, you're getting exhausted, and you need to hear a word that can let you know that, you know, you deserve to have joy, and joy is your portion. And so I wrote this book because I saw a woman coming home after being in ministry or being in business or being in life, or, you know, being a nurse or being a mother, or, you know, being a doctor, or being a janitor, you know, working at Wendy's. You know, I thought about those women, you know, and they will come home and they serve people all day, exhausted, and they're thinking, God, you know, I'm tired. I want to continue impacting women, but I'm tired. And I want them to be able to open up this book and say, you know what? I still got joy. I wanted women who felt as if, you know, everyone's talking about purpose and how you got to have a purpose in order to be important, and they feel unimportant because they feel like they don't have a purpose. I want them to be able to pick up a book and be like, you know what? After reading this from Gigi, you know what? I've got purpose, but it's not one thing, because I was meant to be a multi-dimensional woman. And so that's what I wanted them to get. And then it's funny because I have a lot of friends, y'all, who aren't Christians, you know, because I'm not like biased. But anyway, you know, I had friends, they aren't Christians. They're like, Gigi, that chapter you wrote about having clothes in your closet, that spoke to me. And they're Buddhist, you know. I have friends who are agnostic. I got friends who are Jewish. I got friends, you know, who are, Jehovah's Witness, you know. And it's crazy because, you know, they'll read it, and, you know, it may not apply to them specifically, you know, in the faith realm, but they're like, that part, when you were talking about how we're multidimensional women, how we were made, you know, not to be just one thing, but God made us, and they don't believe in God, but like made to be a layer person, you know, so for me, that's who I wrote it for. So you've got to remember who you're writing for. The second thing is that I'm trying to figure out the best way to word this. There's a quote I said on my YouTube channel one time, which says that your future won't find you if you quit. Okay? Your future will not find you if you quit. You never know what. Let me put it like this. You aren't given great thoughts by accident. Whether you believe in God or not, I truly do not believe that the world, that your mind, especially the great concepts, that you're given these ideas for nothing. There's a purpose for why those thoughts of greatness come into your mind. And so when you don't maximize those great thoughts, there are future dominoes that are in place. And the best way for me to explain it is like this. If I don't show up to the table to place that first domino, it won't knock down, or it won't help me meet the other things that are waiting to collapse into my life. Right? A lot of times we know we have bad things collapse in our lives. We have, you know, horrible things, tests and trials. But there's also greatness, okay, that can collapse into your lap, that can fall into your life. So for me, what I say to myself a lot of times is, look, if I finish this is going to help me. It's going to bring me one step closer doing this, or it's gonna bring me one step closer to something I have no clue what's gonna bring me one step closer to, but I'm excited about it because I know it's a great idea and I know that I should do it. So I also think about that. I also think about the future domino effects that can be achieved with me doing that. And then I think about how I can put a product into somebody's hands and it can be a blessing to them and it can help change their lives. I believe that I'm an expert. I believe that I'm the best at what I do. I believe there's no one who can do and can teach the way that I teach. I believe that I have a specific gifting, and I have there's something that makes me Gigi. You know, I'm Gigi. Like there's no one else that is this kind of Gigi. You know, there's all different types of Gigis. There's grandma Gigi's, there's Gigi because their name starts with a G, but I am a specific Gigi, and I believe that I have a very unique gift, and I believe that I am important in this world. I believe that God's gifted me to do certain things. And so when I'm publishing these books, there's reasons behind them, and there's a reason why I push for what I do. Okay, so let me take one more question. I'm gonna be out of here, y'all. So Miss Daniels asked, do you order all of your stuff and then sell, or you have them go straight through Amazon? I actually do both. So I offer, here's what I do. So I have my own tribe, right? When you have your own tribe, you have a lot more privileges. When you do not have a tribe or you do not have a website, you'll go through Amazon. I do both. So what I do is on my website, I actually have a huge box down here, but I order my books in bulk. And so I had to order a new batch, which is down here. I'll order a huge, I order 100, 150 at a time. And then as they sell out, I restock. And right now it's for Lead to Lead. I have to restock the Boss Builder. That's the other box is coming because I've been pushing on that one as well. So what I do is I order the books and then I place them into my store. In my store, I offer them at a discount. And the reason why is because when you go through Amazon, right, I don't get the money. I get royalties. When I do it myself, I get the money first and I can order the books or use the books that are here in my house. So let's think about this from a business standpoint. I order Lead to Lead, which cost me what was the price? I think it was $301. Y'all almost forgot how much my book was to print. The book to print is, almost forgot. So this book to print is, $301. Cost me $3.01 to print this book. So I can order, let's say order 100 of them, right? It cost me $300 and blank dollars, right, to order this book. So what I'm going to do is, let's say I'll do that. And then of course I'm going to pay for shipping, right? But with that, I can control my margins versus when you sell on Amazon, right? Now, when you go through Kindle Direct, right, in order to get your artist copies or your author copies, you do have to publish them on Amazon. That's a benefit, right? It's a free self-publishing site. The least you can do is place a book on their site to help them make some money. But when you do that, right, when you sell on Amazon, you get a cut. You get like a royalty check. So every month I get a royalty check, which is nice. I do appreciate that because I have 6 of my books on there. But like I said before, I also offer them on my site because for me, I don't get a royalty that way. I actually keep a lot more of my money. And so what I'll do is, okay, let's say the book is $24.97 on Amazon, but on my site it'll be $19.99. So yeah, it's $5 cheaper, but I get to keep a lot more of the profits, right? And because I'm on Tribe, it works. Like it works. I love it because I can offer bundles on my site. You can't offer bundles on Amazon. Like you can offer where you buy all of my books and I can give you a discount. But well, I can do that though on my website, right? I also like to do both because of the fact that let's say you buy a book on my website. I don't actually have to ship you a physical one. I can go on the back end of Kindle Direct and order the book and ship it right through your website, right from my back end of Kindle Direct. So I can actually drop ship the books right from Amazon, right from the back end of Kindle Direct. So I like that. So so even though I'm doing both, I'm still gonna, technically, I'm still gonna be ordering the books through Amazon. But yeah, I definitely recommend doing both, especially if you have a tribe. Yeah, I'm built a tribe. Simply Diva 23 says, hey Gigi, I'm just starting my journal line. I have 1,000 copies being printed now overseas, and I feel like I should have went through the POD route. I actually like overseas. It depends upon what you're getting. Print on demand is not as favorable with custom journals and planners. It depends upon what you're printing. And this is why, if I'm printing like a regular brown book like this, yeah, I can do print on demand. But if I'm doing a journal that has like certain features, certain tabs, and I'm trying to get a really good price point, China, Taiwan, Singapore, mostly China though, and I want to say it's Taiwan. Yeah, because I have a couple connections. I remember there's one from China. Taiwan is the other one. But overseas, guys, you really can't beat it for inexpensive printing. They have, honestly, some of the best results. But, when you're working overseas, it's a little bit, got to be really on the process because you really can't make sure that things don't drop, when it comes to dropping the ball. There's actually a connect that I'm going to be posting on a Facebook group because, I just want to make sure that people are, overseas can be a help, especially if you're trying to get a certain price point, because with a lot of print-on-demand companies, they're not going to drop ship a custom journal that has like gold features, gold tabs, you know, spiral bound, certain things. Now, some things they will, but the more featured your product is, they're not going to be doing print on demand. They're not going to be, you know, using their 15 machines to print one little journal to ship to one lady. You know, they're not going to do that. So that's why if you're doing certain journals, you will have to really order a very large amount, because a lot of these printing companies, guys, they're not going to be using their $50,000 machines, $100,000 machines, okay, to print one journal or to print one planner. So that's why when you know, the more fancier your journal is, you're going to have to buy in large bulk, unfortunately. But you know, it makes sense from a business standpoint. Okay, guys, have a great rest of your night. I am tired. Just wanted to do this. I had a very, very long day, but I just want to make sure I make time for you guys. If you have any questions, of course, if you're on YouTube, be sure to comment. You guys know I love to respond to your comments. We will have more videos. So here's what I want you guys to do if you're watching on YouTube. Be sure to comment. When you're watching my videos on YouTube, you have questions, always say something like, hey, Gigi, can you do a video on? There actually is a short video I posted here on my YouTube channel that says like print on demand channel, something. It's like basically like where I have you guys ask basically to tell me what topics you want. You can go into that video and you can submit more questions. There are a lot of things that I still have to cover. Some people were asking me, hey, Gigi, I love your live videos. Will you be doing like pre-edited ones? The answer is yes, I will. But it's just easier for me to do live streaming ones when I have the time. But I will be doing some pre-edited ones that are coming up. Guys, I'm tired. I gotta be at the office in the morning. Your girl's tired, okay? But I'm excited. I have Christmas break starting in a week and a half. So we're excited. And then I'm working from home at the end of this week. So see you guys later. Bye. I'm gonna end this video. Let me see how I can do it. End, done. Okay. See you YouTube. Bye.